Grace, pakita ka na, Grace.
Let's go, we're live.
Layo ka konti sa mic. Mr. Cook.
Hot.
Hindi, parang hindi ka masyadong lalap.
Control D or Command D to
Mute? Yeah, I have a physical mute.
We're live, okay? It's over. Edwin Makabuhi.
Hello, Edwin.
Hey, Edwin, we got a special guest host today. You know that guy?
The fourth host, hopefully permanent.
The fourth guys next door.
What's for dinner, Edwin?
You're on mute, Edwin. Where's Grace at? Grace! He's on Grace.
Wait. I'm gonna try to.
Yeah, what happened? Stop.
He stopped the music.
Oh,
Are you on mute? You are on mute, Mr.
you're on
Cooks.
mute.
Good evening,
Hey,
everyone.
I did not stop the music. All right. Hello? Are we ready to go? We going? All right, let's start. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Guys Next Door. And we have a fourth guy today, Urban Bandits. So this is the show wherein we're probably just going to talk about a lot of fun stuff. You will probably notice this week we did not advertise any guests. It's because of our mid-season recap. We're gonna look back on all of our guests, what went well, what did not go well, and everything in between. So today it's gonna be a fun discussion, and we have one of our guys who's usually on the backstage helping us putting in more of our more perspective to this show. So welcome everybody, episode 12 of the Guys Next Door. So to start today, like what I said, like any other TV show that you're watching, there's this perfect amount of episode per season. We are on the mid-season recap, and we want to do it so that you're not gonna get what's the right word I'm looking at? You're not gonna
Sick of my
gonna get
face.
sick of our phrase. So we're gonna make it. I would say DJ Pat probably 20 episodes per season, and then we go to the next. So
Yeah, I'm I've been noticing in other podcasts and talk shows, they tend to go 20, 25. They don't go 10, they don't go 50. They try to break it up and then, reassess what they're doing for the next season. You improve your brand, you improve your flow. And I think it's a good idea to somewhat have a break at the middle of the year. So
yeah, so we're looking at probably around 20 episodes, and this our 12th episode. So I think that's a perfect break for us. And coming in probably around May, we can uh reminisce what happened and then get back on the next season sometime on the summer to be invigorated and probably prepare for some other topics or new set of guest. Like I said, I think 20 is a perfect season. Like any of the shows. What are the shows that you watch what are the TV shows you watch in the last 3 to 5 years? What are you guys? What's the best TV series that you guys watched?
I'll
I will start.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, I will
Um,
start. For
you
me,
go ahead.
outside of probably Game of Thrones, I would say Ted Lasso. So for me, Ted Lasso is one of those shows that everybody should watch. Have you guys all of us here watched Ted Lasso, right?
Yeah.
I
Except
did.
me. I don't have
You have
Apple
not watched
TV.
Ted Lasso.
I don't
Hey,
have Apple TV.
I'll give you one.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
you have to watch Ted Lasso because Ted
7-day
Lasso for
trial.
me,
You can finish all the seasons.
yeah. The reason and Urban, the reason why we want to watch Ted Lasso is I think Ted Lasso is one of those shows that every single episode you are gonna be uplifted. Like if you're down here, you watch it, and then
It's
after you finish, you're gonna be up here.
it's
If not, there's
it,
if somebody's tell that they're not wired correctly, there's
it
something
is
wrong with that
it is
person.
the most feel good TV show in the history of TV shows. Ted Lasso.
I I will not argue with that
It
because of
is an uplifter, like you said. It's every single episode, even if there's a sad event at the end of the show,
yes,
your heart
Mhm.
is clapping. You could be in tears, but you're
yeah,
uplifted.
you'll be feeling good because if you're not, there's something wrong with you. There's seriously something wrong with you. You are not wired correctly. So to the listeners, I think you should check out Ted Lasso. For me, that's probably one of the TV series shows that I like just because of the feeling, right? There's a lot of good ones. You can say Ozark, you can say
Mm.
uh,
Mhm.
Breaking Bad back then, but all of these other shows, right? There's still a perfect like number of episodes.
Let's have the guys chime in here.
Wait. Can
Well,
you go back? Can you go back to Ted Lasso? What's the premise of Ted Lasso?
okay, so Ted Lasso is a story about an American football coach who was hired by an English soccer team to coach their team. The reason for the hire is the owner of this English soccer team wants the team to fail. So
Right.
she hired someone who doesn't know anything about the sport. And the reason that she wants to blow up the team is because of a divorce from a
Yeah.
husband who owns the team in the first place. And that's the basic story. And then the characters just come in, like different type of characters. There's an assistant coach from another American, and then there's an equipment manager from England. It's just so fun. It's so fun. You got
And think about it. Major League. Yeah, you watched Major League, right? With
oh yeah.
yeah, so it's basically the premise of Major League because that's where they brought this team so that they can fail,
Mm.
but it's different. It's a spin-off. So now Ted Lasso is an American football coach who's known not for his coaching styles or for his strategy, but more of his character, and
is
he's going to
being
translate that.
being in touch with the human side of these professional players. That's where he's good at. And
Oh, you got to watch it.
yeah, the history of this show though is this show, because NBC has the rights to the English Premier League, so the show was a commercial. It was a commercial from years ago, and they turned it into a TV show. So
Yep.
NBC, all the credit to NBC for starting the show. What is your chime in here, TJ Urban Bandits? What is your TV shows that you like to share?
Well, let me piggyback on Ted Lasso. I think what you're trying to say is um, failure is not fatal in a way where he was put in that position, but was he able to succeed or be able
Well,
to?
that's only one part of it, right? It spin-offs into this up and
Yeah,
downs.
that is the top layer. There's so
Yeah,
many things
there's so many
to
you're gonna
uncover.
uncover.
Yeah, yeah.
We only
But
have
yeah,
three
yeah.
seasons. Yeah, 3 seasons. I think it's perfect.
You can say
And
he succeeded, but there's a
yeah,
lot
Okay,
that went on.
I like that. I like that a lot because how how he's able to turn something negative to a positive. Where
Exactly.
courage, his courage to continue. That I think that counts more than failure. Failure being fatal.
Correct.
So I mean, it goes out. It goes. I think it goes on with life in terms of like us DJs as well.
Yeah.
We're put in. We're let's say Twitch is like a safe haven. Oh, I'm segueing. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, go
I
ahead.
just I just can relate with Ted Lasso that I think that Twitch can be like a safe place for us to be in and be comfortable.
Mm.
And once we're in that comfort zone, we don't tend to like go outside that box or that particular position. So I think with Ted Lasso, being put in that situation, I think it's good at times to where you're able to uh, have the courage to actually do something outside of maybe Twitch and spread your wings in terms of finding other places to DJ.
Well,
Yeah.
like what you just did, right? So I know. I mean, if nobody knows here yet, Urban Band started, DJing on Twitch, but now he's a regular on a bar somewhere in Chicago, right? Tell us more about
Wow,
that, Urban.
it's good.
No, just like Ted Lasso, like I said, I was no, but seriously, it's as easy as googling where the gigs are and
Mhm.
just showing up and do what you learned
There you
from
go.
Twitch. Actually, Twitch has given me a lot of opportunities. For somebody that's new in the game, just been doing this for about 2 years. 2 years.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just put my name out there. Somebody gave me a chance. So after that, just showing up is one. Showing up in every gig, not being late. Um,
Mhm.
Making sure that if they needed somebody, I'm there for them, and that's it. It's easy as that. Comfort zone wise, I wasn't sure in the beginning, but in a way, if you put yourself in those type of situations, I think you expand your comfort zone, and once you expand, you're able to do more. So, Grace,
You're calling out Grace now to go out
Trying
there?
out Grace for a gig too.
Yeah, yeah.
Grace, spread your wings.
Spread your wings. Right. Well, she's spreading her wings. She actually, her favorite show is The Housewife. That's her peeve. Any housewife shows. Um,
Wow.
but how about you, Gus? What's your favorite show that you the past couple years?
Recently I just watched The Kingdom. So it's like it's an anime, but they did it in real life action. So it's in Netflix. So it was fun. Yep.
All right. Well, speaking of shows, right? And thank you for all the input. Speaking of show, I heard you guys have been watching not a show, but a movie called Bad Axe. So I'm kind of interested. You guys have been talking about it over the weekend. And I think that was our topic over the weekend. So what's the Bad Axe movie?
Okay, so I'll get to that. Bad Axe is a town here in Michigan,
Mhm.
somewhere in the thumb. So if this is Michigan and this is the Upper Peninsula, it's somewhere here in the thumb. It's a small town. It's like a transit town where you pass by this town to go to the lake. Sort of a small 5,000 people town. In this town, there's a story about a Cambodian Mexican American family who owns a
Okay.
restaurant, and the story goes, at the start of the pandemic, the youngest brother started filming everyone, and it shows how they struggled through the pandemic, owning a restaurant and trying to run it with all the policies and restrictions. But every one of the children were educated, so they all went home. They could work remote and stuff like that. They could study at home, and they all pitched in and helped in the restaurant, trying to survive this. If you remember, this was already 4 years ago. This was a very hard time for small businesses, and they tried to navigate that. As a Cambodian American Asian, Asian family trying to navigate that. But as you know, it was complicated back then. We had the George Floyd era. We had the Black Lives
Well,
Matter.
okay. Black.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
BLM.
then obviously the father or the owner of the restaurant wasn't too keen in protesting and joining all these rallies and speaking up. But the children are more liberated. They want to speak out. They want to give their thoughts. So they went to this rally in Bad Axe, Michigan. And who would have thought? Bad Axe, Michigan, it should be a quiet town, just do the rally. You would expect it to be on the news and stuff like that. But lo
Mhm.
and behold, a few neo-Nazis showed up, and
Wow.
who were against the protest. They came in with TJ, right, their masks and guns and bulletproof stuff and
Automatic guns. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, military gear, and there was a confrontation between the children of the Cambodian family and these people, and it became scary to the point that there were threats to the restaurant by not only the people and the neo-Nazis, but the general public. They wanted the restaurant to just shut up, they got letters and reviews that we will never eat in your restaurant, where you're not going to be in the rotation of restaurants that will eat in. And it got so bad during that time. It's just a reflection of how America is at that time and up to now. So, well, to navigate that, they went on with their lives. They tried to rebuild. But to shorten this thing, when they showed the documentary and people from Bad Axe watched it, they learned a ton of things from the culture of the Asians, and they become more accepting of who they are, their color,
Mhm.
and just go on and being civil with each other. So I'd like to point out, really, as immigrants, I think we can relate to this, Mr. Coops.
Right. I think I want to kind of raise the point of what the dad has done, like just stay quiet, right, and then just be in the background, not to shake, shake it up, and not to make noise. And I could attest to that, right? That because a lot of, I would say, this generation of people came in first here in the state, sort of have that mentality, right? I was reading something, and they call it the assimilation paradox, right? Assimilation meaning they tend to not just cope up, and then be okay in associating to the culture, because they feel like they're the newcomers. They're coming in as people of of a minority, right? And at that point, I think I was watching a show similar to this with Padma Lashmi's. It's about food, but it's about Filipinos, right? So in one of the things, there's a nurse who's who grew up here, and her dad's always say, no, don't worry about this, forget about it, we're just gonna work hard, which is good, don't get me wrong, Filipinos work hard, but sometimes working harder is not up. If you feel that there's something wrong, you have to speak up, right? That's a culture that we have, that I think that's what the children on that show was trying to break. I have my children who were born, who were raised here, some were born here, who kind of like went in those rallies. I'm not
Mhm.
saying against it, but I'm pro, but I will not go that far, right? But at the same time, also, I'm this person who just want to make sure that, I think that's what the dad is doing, is make sure that everything's okay, because this is the future. This is what I built for my
Mm.
family, and I don't want to risk everything
There's a
because of
risk.
the small things, right?
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that's really where I'm coming from. I think that's what the dad is coming from. Like, I want to make sure that my kids, when I'm gone, they're good, right? I think that's what it is. And I mean, we have to realize also that our parents, or whoever that came first, that's what they're trying to do. It's not good or bad. Of course, there has to be balance. I think that's what it is.
Gus, you remember we went to the Black Lives Matter rally. We actually provided a PA system.
PA system.
Did you ever feel that you're risking your your reputation or your mobile DJ business by showing up there? Because our town too is kind of conservative.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Not really. I'm just scared of like people that would come in there that doesn't believe on what you're what's that fighting for, right? So, but it was a peaceful rally. I mean,
It
there's
was.
only like just one person heckling people, but that's about it. But
Oh, see, I forgot about that person. So you remember
yeah,
that person.
yeah.
Urban, you come from Chicago, so it's a more liberated city. There was more going on in your town. How did it? How do what do you remember about the June of 2020?
Um, I think we were in the side of being quiet and
Yeah.
uh, not showing up where there's a lot of people because of COVID. So
There's more risk in your town anyway. There's more
correct,
danger and of violence. So I think that's the right thing to do at during that time. So I suggest everyone to go and see Bad Axe, Badaxe. It's a the movie documentary on Hulu. It's a great watch, especially
let's
for us.
let's
Asian
show the
Americans.
trailer, Pat. Can we show the trailer?
Do you have it? I don't
Yeah.
have it.
Let's go.
If okay, go for it.
Tell me about these photos.
Show it to the camera like this.
Yeah, just talk about them.
Is a picture of our baby at the time, David. April 17, 1975, when everything changed in Cambodia. My mom survived with 6 children, make our way to Michigan.
When we first came to Bad Axe and opened up a donut shop, we didn't exactly fit in.
We live in a community that's 97% white.
In a town with less than 4,000 residents, it's not easy making a living off of donuts.
So eventually we decided to change it into a restaurant. It felt like building the American dream.
And our whole lives just changed, shut down.
This is a global pandemic.
Increasing numbers of cases and deaths here in Michigan.
Bars, restaurants, coffee shops, all ordered by Governor Whitmer to stop normal business.
When you grow up knowing what it's like to have nothing, you're always afraid of going back to that point. After leaving Cambodia for everything America has to offer, everything we were afraid of is happening.
It's a hard time that we're going through right now. Every day is a battle.
If something happens to you, nothing matters anymore.
Racist rhetoric against Asian Americans has become a real problem.
If this community turns against us, then our whole lives can be wiped away.
You're going to end up digging yourself your own grave.
We got this letter today from a very angry customer. My family and many will be changing our restaurant routine, and Rachel's is no longer a choice. You could return to Cambodia for opportunity.
Wow.
Our frustrations with Bad Axe have forced us that much closer together as a family.
I look at Bad Axe and I don't ever want to give up on it. It's a place that I see hope in it. So our home, and we so love it.
Just amazing how much we get to be a part of this community.
People can change. You just can't force it on them.
This is our family's dream of what America is.
We hope you.
I love you too.
That's interesting, right? So probably one of the things that stuck to me there. So one that says people can change. You just need to be patient. Oh, you can't force it to them. I tell you that true, right? If you look at everything that's going bad, or if a person is actually acting like that way, nobody's born bad or evil, right? It's just education or what they learn, right? So I think the more information, even with Black Lives Matter or everything, LGBTQ, I think the more information that you put to people, I think the better the understanding is, because people are afraid for things that they don't know of. I think that's really the foundation of really why a lot of people are afraid. So
Yeah,
that's very
absolutely.
interesting. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
All right. So that's what you guys have done. All right. So, sorry to get really deep into this. We're gonna go still on our segment of the show. We don't have a guest today, but we have a guest host on Urban Bandits. Probably, I don't know, a permanent host on the guys next door in the
There
next
you
few
go.
episodes.
We're
You
gonna
don't know.
need his help. We're
Yeah,
gonna
we're
need
gonna
his
need this
help.
help.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna go to our
Or it could be
segment
the
one.
last.
No, you're not. The neighborhood watch. Let's just run in the reel for the neighborhood watch. All right, this is a show we will actually talk about yesterday's NBHC rate train. I'm just gonna pull up the flyer right now. So right now, this is the flyer of NBHC yesterday. One thing that stuck out right now on this lineup is the return of DJ Sonic Boom. He has been absent.
Mhm.
He's been in hibernation, however you call it. But he actually played on these week's NBA rate train. And to people who doesn't know who Sonic Boom is, he's one of the OGs of NBHD. We all formed this together with Urban Bandit, Sound Decision, Yusoko Taipmo, and Edwin and Grace are in the chat. So glad to have him back. We have our usuals here. We got We Dance is one. We got Jadzia, which I think we should get on this show. Anyway, and then we have newcomers on Thomas Culture and DJ C Glass. These are a couple. They're a couple. There are DJs from Edmonton, Canada, and I think they talk. I think Grace is the one who asked them to join. And I think they brought in the vibe. What do you guys think about those two? Hello. Yes.
I'll come in. I missed the evening afternoon sets. I was fortunate enough to see Sonic Boom. I missed your set, Edwin. Shout out to Edwin Makabuhay is on the chat. I missed your set. Sorry, brother. Sonic Boom, good to have you back. I heard there was a DNB set from, was it Seaglass?
Yes, Seaglass.
We're happy to be able to welcome genre like
So
DNB to the Sunday.
you
Great
guys
show.
probably noticed on the flyers that I create, I took out H2H. One of the reason why I took out house to house is we're kind of like, we have a lot of DJs right now on NBHD Discord. I think we're up to close to Boy G 350, somewhere like
Yeah,
that.
we're in the 300s. Yeah.
300 something.
Mhm.
So we're getting a lot of people wanting to play on NBHD so that we can help them get exposed, or they just love the culture on Sundays, right? Whether there's a high viewership or low viewership, it's just that they feel that they're always welcome. That's always been a staple of NBHD. So a lot of people, a lot of DJs doesn't just play house; they play DNB. To your point, they play. There's sometimes they do some sort of an R&B, right? Techno, although techno is kind of like a subgenre of house. But we welcome all of that, so that every time they ask me, I can't play this. Can I play this? As long as you bring the vibe, that's my requirement. And no, you always welcome.
So
So
are you permitting me to do open format
why not?
reggaeton or whatever?
Why not? If you can bring the vibe, right? And by the way, just FYI, next week NBHD is going 90 minutes each. So Boy G and I discuss about this. I think right now we exhausted the 1 hour with the number of DJs that we have, and just that we want people to get more exposure. Starting next week, we're gonna go 90 minutes on NBHD. It's also easier to get DJs on this on Sundays, but that's not the reason. The reason is we want to give them exposure, because I think 1 hour is not enough especially if the vibe is so high. They want more. So just FYI, that's what's gonna be going on next week. We got a few slots that are already filled in, so watch out for them. A lot of new DJs also, so that's another thing that Boyji and I are putting in the next few Sundays is a lot more new upcoming DJs. Well, not upcoming, but just first time on NBHD. All right, so that's
Mr.
the
Coops, I wanted to see if you would format then your schedule then, because you're now going to have 30 minutes in between that number. So
you mean on the scheduler?
are the flyers?
The
See, yeah.
flyer you will have to
Ah.
put the
It's gonna take some
Okay, I
space.
got you.
It's gonna take
media aura on that one.
So I think Gus is saying now that I've been so one of the things that you probably noticed that there are no same flyer since the conception of NBHD, right? Every flyer are unique. That's also been the staple. You don't know what you're gonna get the following week. I think Boy G, we're going close to 100 episodes, right? So we're probably on the high 80s, if not 90s. So I think Gus is saying, how can I fit this in on the flyers? You're right. We'll figure it out. I mean,
There better just be more digits on the flyer. I think you can figure it out. I think you can do some graphical color play
I
and
might-
shading on that. I think you got
I,
it.
I might need Urban Bandits there. So we'll see. Well, I got this. I got this like pinned down to the T. Guess how long it takes me to create a flyer for NBHD?
Half an hour.
2 minutes.
Not 2 minutes. That's it. Urban Bandits. Half an hour max, less than half an hour.
So
I can
13.
create this.
You have 13
and the
right
edits,
now.
yeah,
So
and
how
the edits is
many-
like, yeah,
How many will it be?
9.
9. Okay.
So I think we're gonna go 9. So
Ah,
more
so
space though, because more
Yeah,
space,
yeah,
so
yeah, you'll have more
more
space.
space to play with. So, but
You
it's
can
not gonna
play
be my
around,
usual.
yeah.
Yeah, my usual like I have a template and then I can do it. The fast I did one is probably like less than 10 minutes. If I have something in my head, the hardest part here is really figuring out. So how I usually do it is I'm gonna text Sound Decision. Give me an idea. There's one flyer. Actually, Sound Decision said, "Oh, you want boba? Give me a word, boba." He gave me a word, and all right, let me figure out something. There's one flyer. It's like a menu on the milk tea shop. So
Yeah, and
I just
I remember we also had to not argue but discuss the color of the boba.
Color scheme,
what
right.
is what is
Not too
the realistic color of a boba?
and the brown, right? So what color
brown,
brown do you use? Because there's certain color brown that
Poopy
is
brown, not
is-
poopy brown. You
it
gotta be
looks
the
too
D
poopy.
or
So
the
we
black
have
sugar.
to you have to play with that. So just to get you guys how how they conceptualize these flyers. And you will know if I just do it quickly because I'm too lazy or I am so busy. But you will see on the flyers soon. So
You have been better though with the typographical, graphical, and spelling. You've been better with
that's
that.
true.
The
You've
So
been
names.
better.
the names, the spelling, I owe that to Boyji. I have a process right now when I'm using the spreadsheet. As long as Boyji put it correct on the spreadsheet, and Boyji actually make sure it's good because he's actually putting in the URL links there. Make sure that you click it and it goes to the right channel, right? So I'm using that. I'm not typing them one by one. So I'm using some sort of a copy paste here, right? I used to be bad in spelling. And I used to miss a lot, when I was doing it. Yeah, and I think Edwin Macabua is probably the fastest to look at. Oh, you forgot a period.
Yeah, he knows. He can see right away.
Yeah,
Proofreader.
So that's what we have yesterday on the Guys Next Door. So now, what do? We don't have any guests. We had a treat for you guys. I think one of the things I told TJ Urban Bandits here is, listeners, you really don't really know much about the guys next door. So why don't we interview? TJ's gonna ask a few questions to the guys next door because we've been interviewing couples. We're interviewing mom and dad, mom and daughter, brothers, producers. But if you really ask yourself, who the heck are these guys? What do they do? And I think we should learn more about Gus and Sound Decision. And I don't know, probably Mr. Coops, TJ. What do you think?
Yeah. A couple questions. Shall we start? Like
Sure.
maybe
Shoot.
beginnings, your origin story. Like how did you start with Twitch? Your journey. How did you kick off in terms of um, the platform and your program? Like Gus. Gus is always different every show.
That was very- So,
Gus?
Gus, I will let you start with that.
Oh, first, I got into Twitch because of Sound Decision, right? So he introduced me to Twitch, and then initially I'm not even wearing costume during that time when my initial.
I thought you said you're not wearing anything, but
Yeah, I know.
Nothing
But
below
then,
below the waist.
yeah, I was like thinking, okay, what can I do different, right? Okay, everyone's playing music. I think I did not even have a mic during that time. I just wanted to play, right? And then I said, okay, why not wear some costumes? Because I still have a few costumes in here that I use during Halloween. That's the Yoga Bagaba that I have. So I think that was my first costume, and then started like my mind started to like, oh, okay, I can do anything on Twitch, right? No one's no one's what's that no one's gonna go in my house and open the door and then put me in handcuffs or anything. So yeah. So so I then bought some costumes in Amazon, and then I even go to Shin to buy some costumes
Shin.
just to see.
What?
Yeah.
Shein is the fast fashion website
Yeah.
from
Oh,
China.
okay.
Put it on
Yeah,
the poll,
Shin,
Boy G.
Shin.
Put it on
Yeah,
the poll. Is
Shin,
it responsible to buy your clothes from Shein.com?
This is responsible.
It's
Okay.
irresponsible fashion,
Well,
I guess.
because it's
Shein.
sweatshops in China, but that's a different story.
Oh, yeah,
That's a
yeah,
different
yeah,
story. If you need a costume, get it from Shein. We don't care. We just want
yeah.
you. We just want you in costume.
Gus is an exception.
You are an exception.
I didn't know it was. Yep.
So so Gus and I, we started like everyone else. We started on Facebook, but my motivation in streaming in Facebook was different. During the pandemic, there were restaurants who were struggling, and then some of them were doing takeout, and there was this particular food truck that I offered my services, including Gus, if we could do a Facebook Live set while they sell food on their food trucks, that could probably help them promote their business. And guess what? We were able to do a couple of sessions for them, and both times they sold out. It's probably
Nice.
not because of our set, but their food is good. So that was the main motivation. And then as you go on, you get copyrighted a lot. I still get copyright notice in 2024. I still get notices from Facebook that I copyrighted songs, and this was from 2020, and I still get the messages now.
Wow.
Believe it or not. So that's the transition to Twitch, just like everyone else was. No one's gonna stop your music, no one's gonna mute your music. So we all moved to that platform, and then Grace Music wanted to learn to DJ, so I sent her a couple of tips and stuff like that, and she started. And then the cousins, Xvia and DJ Elms, convinced all of us to do it all together. And then this is when, Mr. Coops, you can you can continue the story of how you started on Twitch as a
Well,
moderator.
so during all of this, right? So I think to Pat's point, that was Elms and Xbaya. Well, actually, Elms. He's been doing this longer than all of us. And then, oh, why don't you check me out on Facebook, on Twitch? Well, Pikman. And then say, what the fuck is Twitch? Like, oh, what the heck is this platform?
The
Like
gaming platform.
the gaming platform. Well, what are you doing there? So I started to listen to Elms, and then all right, and then I enjoyed actually even before Grace. I was probably the first one on chat there, and I love the chat. I'll be honest. That's just me and my personality. So I talked to a few people there, chat around, ride with some jokes, blah blah blah, and then okay, all right, let's do this. And then I know Sound Decisions has been DJing on Gus, and I was talking to Drace. Why don't you like music? I think you can do this shit. So what I did is I actually gave Grace Mother's Day gift. One DDG 200. Let's try this, and then let me do all the checks, all the technical layout. I'll figure it out and then do it. And then I research. I can remember our first stream setup is this graphic that I found somewhere. It's like Star Wars, the Millennium Falcon going through the Death Star, like just going inside, and there's just a lot of like things moving around. And then I put a small camera where Grace is playing. The vibes is there, but everybody's complaining they were dizzy because it's just this spinning thing over for an hour. I think we did that for an hour. And then we got better. All right, let's get rid of that. And then we got better. Sound Decision. Gus and I have been talking about setups, how we can better. We bought gears left and right. And then there we are. I got three channels that I mod. And then I started modding. It was like three of us. There's what? Grace, me, Coops, Sound Decision, Gus, and probably Mackie. Every stream, there's just five of us. And we did it every single week. We don't care. There's five of us. It's like chatting. Now, instead of FaceTiming or doing on chat, we do it. Somebody's playing, we do it on Twitch. We did that. And then we got introduced to the other crews. We met TJ, we met Edwin via Elms, and then all of a sudden, all right, why don't we do a raid train? So we did raid per piece, Ukraine. And then then we did a raid train, and then we said, okay, we can do this. And then why didn't we do a Sunday raid train? And then that's how I got into the whole NBHD, and then history after that. That's just a quick gist of how we started. And everybody, all those three guys, I think Gus said there were no mic. All the first three channels that I mod, I still mod right now. They don't have mic until now.
I still
Here
don't
we
have
are
a mic,
talking.
except
Yeah,
on
but
the
you're
show.
talking every Monday here now, right? So that's how we got it, TJ. So that's really the origin of how we got into Twitch.
How did you come up with neighborhood NBHD neighborhood?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is not. Yeah, I bet people are curious about that. Let me start.
Pot is actually
my thinking there was growing up. You were in a neighborhood, and usually there's a few DJs per capita in your neighborhood, and that's how you learn how to DJ from neighbors or people or uncles. And then a lot of, but then the story is neighborhood. It's supposed to be a community, and there's also houses. And I thought, let's do house music within the neighborhood. Let's go house to house. That was just my initial thought. I never knew what's gonna come out.
And then I think neighborhood was too long. And then he said, all right, this is too long. We're gonna call it the neighborhood. It started with the neighborhood watch, because that there's the neighborhood watch, actually people who watch a neighborhood, right? It didn't work. We tried a few of those. The
Too
neighborhood
long.
watch, neighborhood did
Mm.
too long, and then NBHD, and it stuck. And
It did.
that is, and then all of a sudden, welcome to the neighborhood. You're part of the neighborhood crew. So it just resonated well. I think it's perfect for the type of cruise, because in your neighborhood you have different characters,
Mm.
different people, right? And house music. So it just stuck.
Yeah.
Agree. Yeah. Because house to house in your neighborhood, who are the people in your neighborhood?
Exactly. In your yeah, and
Costume idea.
it's yeah, it's Big Bird, with tutu. So you can see the Big Bird on the tutu. All right. So they still, other people still ask what's NBHD, and I think one of our guests back then, the Bastos brothers, actually, when they first, what the heck is NBHD? They actually a lot of acronyms. They threw in a lot of acronyms. It's kind of funny, how what NBHD means. But I think right now, which is, I'm proud to say, like, there's a lot of people who knows NBHD now. I'm not saying all Twitch, but at least in the DJ community, I think there's a lot different communities that NBHD play.
So Mr. Coops, so when you started, right, there was like 4 or 5 of you guys doing the train, right? You, Muso, Grace, um, Pat, and I forgot who the other one was, from Michigan.
Joel,
yeah,
Joel. Yeah.
Joel. So how are you able to start inviting other DJs, from different groups? How were you able to have them sign up?
Okay, so we started with the Filipino community, right? Who we know, right? And it grew from there. That's the first. Secondly, I owe it actually to Grace also. I was addicted to Twitch back then during the pandemic, that she went out and then just spend her time to other channels, so she can meet new people. I think that's really the hustle in Twitch. If you know everybody right now that knows a lot, you have to go out there, right? And really meet these people, and then just ask them. If you are, I would say, if you're sincere on your asking, you ask nicely, I think a lot of people will be willing to participate and join NBHD. You're gonna get questions of what is the NBHD, but we didn't really start from there. We started really talking to other trains, knowing the right people, and fortunately, everybody said yes. And then at that point, it's just exponentially networking as we grow.
Did
Yeah.
you? Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I was just looking through the Instagram feed. It was March of 22.
22. Yep.
And there's a few flyers where there's only 4 or 5 of us. There was an Easter NBHD. Obviously, Easter falls on a Sunday, and we had Xvia closing the set. And then, well, I'll turn the question to you, Urban Bandits. How did you find out about NBHD? I'm sure we knew each other before NBHD, but how did you get started on NBHD? Because you were one of the first people on the train.
It's easy. It's hard for me to say no. And when Mr. Coops asked if I could join the train, I said yes. That's pretty much it.
That's exactly what I said, right? So that's really the invite, right? It's you're sincere. People will say yes, because even the way you say, hey, would you mind jumping on a train, there will be question, right? And how I even do it right now for new DJs, and I think Boyji actually has a different style also that works. For me, let's say I'm inviting a big streamer, not big but known streamer, right, or whatever, right? I actually said, hey, we are this crew of people, have Sunday train, want to help the community, blah blah blah. This is our elevator pitch per se. This is our our community goal. And if you tell, I think the key words there is help the community grow. I think a lot of people are gonna say yes. And if they and I will support that. If you want to know who played on the train already, give the Discord and then look at Instagram on the flyers. People will see, oh, somebody played here already. I'm in also. I mean, that's
Mm,
also helps out.
mm. The history or the transcript of people who played. You see a couple names, you want in as well. So it's been
Yep.
an effective tool to just be consistent. That's the best tool you can use is to be consistent, and we've been consistent. I think we've only missed two Sundays. I don't know, not a
Uh
lot.
no, no this 2023 only missed one. 2022 we missed two because of, I think that was the summer when we were in Hawaii or something.
Oh yeah,
We went, yeah, but three, I would say 3 Sundays. We only missed 3 Sundays
three
overall since.
Sundays out of almost 104 Sundays. That's
Yes.
amazing.
That's really, how we started. Like I said, it's all about the community. I mean, we also mix it up. We're not just gonna get the big streamers, right? We get the big streamers to help out the small streamers. We have first time streamers. We got streamers that are not even affiliated, right? Because we want to help them out, right? And there's a lot of support there also from everybody. That's why it's easy. It's easy. It's really easy to ask right now. The only time they're gonna say yes is because they have a different schedule. That's the only time we get a no. I mean, it's like, oh, I can't do it because I'm either on the raid train that Sunday, or that time doesn't work. Right, Boy G? I mean, Boy G has been doing a lot of the recruitment, and I think he's done great on NBHD.
Yeah, yeah. I do admire the hard work and dedication that you all put in every Sunday. It takes a lot. It takes a village.
Hey, you guys started with me this one. You guys also deserve that because I can't do it alone, right? One of the things that one of our shows when we had We Dances One and Mr. Latnouse were also doing raid trains. My advantage, so it's easier, is I have a team. I always tell them I have a team to support me.
Shout
That's
out to
it.
Achi who's on the chat.
Yeah,
She's been with
Achi.
us from the very beginning. So shout out to you,
I
Achi.
have a team that will do the recruitment. I have a team that will actually help out on Sundays to watch the train. So I mean, if you look at it, it's a lot of work, right? I can't be, although it's not normal for me right now and Grace on Sundays that I have my phone tuned in to NBHD, but it took me a while to get really acclimated that
Two,
Sundays is
two
what
phones
it
and a
is.
laptop.
Yeah, 2 phones in the lap. So that's why it's because of the team. All of you, Gus, Sound Decision, Urban Bandits, Edwin Makabuhay, Achi, Glip, Boy G, Grace. This is the NBHD crew.
Oh, speaking of Boy G, do you have any wild or intriguing stories from the early days?
Ooh, that's a very, very,
Gus has a lot.
very
Me?
hard question. All right, everybody, put me on the spot. Interesting story about Boy G. Interesting story about Boy G is he, for me, it's I'm intrigued how he knows a lot of these other streamers. Like this guy will know. Yeah, Grace said, how would you want? This is probably from 10 to 10, 10 as the highest, Urban, just because of I don't want to get banned on Twitch, or I want to get into this type of situation. I'm just gonna go with number a 3. One story about Boy G is really how he knows a lot of these other channel.
Streamers. Yeah.
Yeah, right. He was saying, "Can you guys check this?" Like, all right, we will check it. And how really, he's good at that work. Like, he knows a lot of these other channel. Yeah, yeah, right. He was saying, "Can you guys check this?" Like, all right, we will check it. And how really, he's good at that work. Like, he knows a lot of these other channel. Yeah, yeah, right. He was saying, "Can you guys check this?" Like, all right, we will check it. And He's just very efficient. I know that's not the wild that you want, but that's only the wild I can give you.
I feel like
Everybody's
you're
laughing at me right now
I know
because
he's pretty wild. Yeah, he's pretty
you're
wild.
holding
Which is
back on a
pretty
lot of stuff. I feel
Yeah.
like, but maybe it's not for the show. But anyway, I love the guy. He should be a coach at University of Miami and start recruiting football players.
There you
He's
go.
good at it. He's good. He's a good people person, and he even recruited my son to play Fortnite with him. So, just
Did
goes to
did
show
did
you.
they
Yeah.
stream already? Fortnite? No,
Yeah.
not yet.
I,
He's been
I
streaming
get
for the past 2 weekends, and my son was able to play with him Saturday the week before. So, Boy
Oh,
G,
that's cool.
please keep inviting my son on Fortnite.
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
a-
You
a-
can invite
and
me
TJ,
too, because
Gus
yeah, you
too,
have to
please,
invite Gus.
invite Gus.
yeah.
But TJ, that's probably what I meant about being sincere, right? So Boy G is just asking it because hey, that approach. I think that's one of the key things for NBHD.
That's awesome. That's pretty awesome. So, speaking of other stories like beyond Twitch, what are your guys' daily grind? How does it look like outside Twitch? We would like to know.
All right, I will start.
Why don't we? No, let's start with Pat. Let's start with Pat.
Okay, Pat, go ahead.
Okay, I don't know why you asked me first, but outside of work,
Because you're a coach, you're talking about coaching. I thought
outside
this is a good segue for that.
yeah, go
Outside of Twitch.
outside of work, because I don't want to talk about that. It's taking my kids to their soccer games and their practices and their training. It is almost a full-time job, and it's an incredible journey. Actually, weekend of President's Day will be in Fort Wayne, Indiana for soccer. Unbelievable in the middle of winter, but I think it's indoor. So the grind starts. Besides that, outside of Twitch, family is very important. So I'm with my family. If we're able to find, we also do sports photography as a family. So we do
nice.
that, and we love taking the camera out. My son actually started his own thing, shooting every single thing. He's been shooting Division II NCAA basketball, football, and soccer too. So it's a great start. So the grind is the grind. But this show is, what do you call, a pet project that I'd love to take care of and grow.
Nice.
Thanks for sharing, Pat. How about you,
Yeah.
Gus? Any
For
thoughts?
for me, outside work, the grind is of course still family, right? So I still have my youngest son playing basketball. So of course every weekend we have to go to his trainer, and they still play in school right now. It's still basketball season. So yep, watching him play, getting frustrated, but you cannot tell that. You
Cursing.
can't see anything. Yeah.
Gus,
So,
you calmed down a little bit, because 2 hours ago you were very, very irritated at, I don't know, the coach or the team of your son. On the text, my phone was blowing up with messages from Gus about that. I think, Mr. Coops, you can
I won't
attest.
blame him because just the stories. I'm irritated also is hearing what the coach is doing. So
Yeah, just so you know, Gus has a second Twitch channel with which he broadcasts some of the games of his son. And you know how frustrating it is today? There wasn't any stream. So we couldn't
was
watch
it?
the game.
Oh,
It was down. So it's frustrating. You have to get a refund. But I don't know if you want to share
I don't know.
basketball. But
Yeah. So one thing So one thing that I really wanted that always goes on the back of my mind is that, like, for example, if the ref is calling out bad calls, sometimes I think, what if I just stand up and punch him in the face and then I can just go out? You know what? Because we can do that in the Philippines, right? In the Philippines, like, just go beat up the ref and then that's it, you win. But I was
bro,
like,
What if
Oh
they
my
punch
God.
back, Gus?
Don't be
Gus,
great.
what if they punch back?
No,
You should
then
stream
back
that.
in the Philippines, no. Yeah, come on.
there's a few TikTok videos of fights, referee versus
Oh,
parents and
you
all that. So I don't want you to be on social media, Gus.
Yeah, so you're gonna see. Well, if you do that, right? I don't think you have an issue with the actual that's happening there. Your problem is the after. Like you're gonna be on
Yeah,
TikTok, on Instagram. You're gonna have a
yeah. The
meme
thing is,
probably,
yeah,
but that might not be bad at all.
That might be
yeah, and then
that
of
might
course,
bring 5,000 people to your Twitch channel though.
So
By
and
yeah.
that will be good for the guys next door. We can use that as a promo. This is
Oh
the
my
guy. This is one of the hosts. This is the guy who punched the ref. That would be
yeah,
great, dude. Why
yeah.
don't you do it?
And then one thing that annoys me is like the players that are like showboating. It's like yeah,
Kids, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
like
Oh,
I was
I
like
think that's for
well,
basketball.
yeah.
That's annoying. I get that because there's a
it's
lot
it's
to
it's
do
part
there.
of
Yeah,
the game, but
I'm
Part
just
of the
thinking
game
on the
now.
it's
it's
just in
also
the
it's
back of my
also
mind like, okay, 20 years, 15 years from now, I'm gonna be interviewing you and you're not gonna pass. Nope.
Gus is
When
using
you
his
On a
apply for
job,
corporate
that
on a
job.
job
Gus is
interview.
using his
Yeah.
corporate powers to
Yeah.
but
Well,
you
I
know
that's
was
what?
like,
true.
In my perspective, I used to be a coach. I coached basketball for almost 20 years. My perspective is as a coach, if you see your players showboating, especially if you have a 20-point lead, it's on you as a
Yep,
coach to teach them
uh,
what
I agree.
they're not supposed to do. And then the secondary would be the parents to teach that same kid. But the
mhm.
primary teacher would have to be the coach, especially with the big lead. Like, I
Well,
guess you had the yeah, go for it.
Well,
What if
but
oh sorry.
sorry, sorry, TJ. But I think that's also based on generation. I mean, to your point, Pat, it's part of the game now. I mean, as much as we hated it because that's not how we grew up. It's all part of that, right?
Social media.
I don't know. Yeah, it's people. I mean, what they see at NBA, what they see on social media. It's like, I mean, maybe I
The
get it.
sixth graders with highlights on
Yeah.
YouTube, they show
Yeah,
both. So
Yeah.
it
like
begins with them.
when they do that, you're small. Like you see like a fourth grader do that, you're small, dude. You're also small. Don't do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you do that.
See, I have a story. So one person was showboating, and then so he did this like that, and
That's a
then
tree.
yeah. And then Daisy was like, "Oh, what happened?" Like, and then the ref said, "Stop doing it." Yeah, and then Daisy came to me like, that sign, it's white power, and I said, "But he's black. He's not gonna do white power." He's
Who said that white power? The ref.
It is
Daisy
actually
because
a white
Daisy was searching the sign.
it
So
it is
Oh,
a white
this is
power
white
sign, yeah.
power.
But I guess he's pointing out that he made a three, I guess. Is
Yeah,
that
he's
that
pointing at
is
the
yeah,
that
it's a
what
three.
happened?
3 point. Yeah. So Seth and I was saying, no, that's a 3 point. That's not white power.
It should be B is black.
Yeah.
Like that
Right.
sign would be. Urban, do you remember what you were gonna say?
Oh yeah. I mean, what if that's their chip on their shoulder? It's who they are, showboating.
If
Mm,
they're good,
They're just being kids.
they are.
And that side, it's if you tell them not to do it, it's like you're taking away a piece of who they are. So
Mm. I guess you're not telling them not to do it, but you're telling them the timing of when they do it.
Mm.
and
You're
if they're
leading by
good,
20,
right?
25, 30 points. You shouldn't do that. It's not very sporting of you to do that.
Yeah, for
But they're
me it's
kids.
like, yeah, but for me it's like, they're gonna learn, right, when they grow up, right? Because at that point, even when you reach a level, there's this showboating and there's also ethics, right? Every sport has it, right? There are things that you can't do. um like you can't shoot on the NBA if you're 30, it's 1 minute left and you're up 30 points, right? You
That will
hold the
cause a
ball,
fight.
or even
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
because it's at that point, it's just that unspoken rule to do it. So at that point, again, if you're good and you're showboating, and you did it when you were down and then you came back, or you had a great play, go for it. But there are, I guess, timing.
It's timing. Yeah.
Yeah.
so That's probably what they see in the NBA. You know, when they're
Absolutely.
too small and stuff like that. You know, those are their idols. Speaking of idols, how about you guys? Who would you say would be been shaping up or guiding you in terms of DJ? Who are your influences?
That's not my question. I'm not a DJ. You guys got that.
Well, it could be you too, Mr. Goops.
Yeah.
For DJ, I don't know if I can. Right? I actually
The answer is Grace, Mr. Goops.
Well, it's funny you said that because was it last night? Yeah, last night. We were thinking about why can't we do like a 4 hours so she can do 4 hours? Maybe I could learn how to DJ, and then I can take take the spot if you want to rest, and then we can go longer. But you have to teach me. So I think for me, she will be the one's gonna mentor me, and then from there. But I would say mentor across the board. Why I'm doing this on Twitch? It's because of all you guys, right? I'm doing this because all you guys are doing it, and you're inspired. If I'm not, and you guys stop, I don't know if I can do it. So that's my short answer for that.
How about you, Pat? I mean, it's interesting when you do your sets. It's very technical. So I'm kind of dying to know, who are your influences in terms of like music and style.
Technical. I try to. There's always limitations with equipment, but I stopped DJing for a long time, and then when I rediscovered it, Laid Back Luke was a huge influence with the technical stuff. Although his music isn't what it used to be, the way he used to play on Pioneer decks, and he would use 4 of them, and it was very difficult to learn that. But a lot of the other stuff he does, the simple stuff that are technical, I tried to pick up on that. So up to now he's great. He's actually one of our topics later on Beyond NBHD. We're gonna talk about his equipment, but Laid Back Luke is one of them. Dave Clark, techno DJ, super technical. He's the only DJ with a mouse. He uses a mouse behind the decks. I don't know what the mouse is for, but he uses that mouse to probably on Serato or something. But he's on 4 decks. He's always cutting the techno music. He's changing the tempo and the timing and the rhythm by cutting with the faders. And recently, James Hype is a great watch. Nusu ko type mo and I watched him live, and minds were blown. Minds were blown on what he could do with the decks. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely look up so I can see the similarities in your style. Speaking of style, I know that Gus was a member of AMA dance troupe back in the Philippines. So I would like to know, based from that, Gus, is that where you're able to do those dance steps or inspiration, or what is it that it seemed like you're more into like theater, in terms of your performances in the Twitch. So who are your inspirations in terms of getting those ideas and stuff?
Dance troupe. Dance troupe. All right, Gus.
Gus, you have to tell the story.
Of what? Of AMA dance troupe?
AMA dance troupe, yes. How did you become an AMA dance trooper? Can you tell us?
Dance trooper? I don't know.
It's
been a while.
You go to an audition? Did you go to an audition?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
I did.
What did you do on your audition?
I danced.
I know that, but what did you dance with?
What genre? What genre did you?
What genre?
Whoa, what's this?
What is that? That's not me.
That's not you, but that's a sample of the dance.
So
troupe.
this is the current AMA dance troupe. So Gus, are we seeing that you also did this? You performed during big events?
Yeah, but it wasn't this big event. It was just like concert and stuff. But I
The
think we
concert's a big event, dude.
no, but
So
concert within the school. But technically it was my best friend who introduced me to dancing. He's really the one that is dancing. So I just go along with him. And then actually we even we also have a group. We call them escape crew. And
Oh, here we go.
this is getting
yeah,
interesting. All right.
so we were like dancing in malls because there's like a promoter, like a
Did
promoter
you
for
put hat
singing.
in front and then while you're dancing and then they throw in
No,
money and
we're
then
like
okay.
the initial was that show, like show, and then the
Opener.
person will sing. Yeah, promo, like promo dancer for the, yeah, for
That
the
is big.
So
yeah.
I'm interested. So this is back in the 90s, 80s, right? So what is your
Two,
favorite
90s.
dance?
2000
Even to, so that's so what's what Mike says you have skills.
Skills.
That's skills with a Z. So what's your
Oh wait, it's
favorite?
90s. Yeah, 90s and early 2000, early
So
2000.
what is your favorite dance? What song?
What
We have to know it.
song?
Yeah, yeah. What's your favorite dance moves and what song was that?
Oh wait.
How G?
No. Well, Howji's for ledge dancing and stuff, right?
Oh,
So,
see, he's
What
giving
else?
us he's giving
no,
us the
I think our like our song in there was like shoot.
Four non-blondes.
No, if I had a lute
Oh
by
man.
If I had the loot,
yep,
what is that?
Yeah, R&B.
yeah.
That is a great song. That is a great
If I
dance
had the
song.
loot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we usually do not like we're not street boys that usually do acrobat, so we just do like the normal dance with with your hands and stuff.
So you're more of like a the maneuvers, right? Not the
Yeah,
trick
yeah,
boys.
yeah, yeah. So that's our dance. Like if I had the lute, and then we did tap the what's that? Tap the battle and twist the cap. Yeah, yeah. So
Top
that
the
one.
so put it in the chat. In one of Nguso's next stream, we will have to have a dance. Well, he has a dance redemption. Just I'll let you guys know. This is something that we actually did. So he has a dance redemption, but the dance redemption is more of like a pandango sa ilaw. We have not done that. Nobody had redeemed that in a while. We totally forgot about that. So we should do an extra one. How's the loot dance? That would
If I
be
had the
awesome.
lute, okay.
How, if I had
What
the loot, how's the loot?
now that we're opening up the Sundays to other genre, you can definitely play "If I Had No Loot" by Tony Tone.
Yeah,
So
Tony,
There you go,
look at that. FU
Tony.
Media. So FU Media, you also on the dance troupe? Gus is. So you
this was
might
a
do
big
beat.
this was a big song in the 90s and
Yeah.
very danceable. So I could only imagine.
I see Phil rapping while Gus is dancing. That would be awesome. On the next, if we ever have an NBHD like meetup, that's top of the list, guys. List that down. We have to do that. So
Well,
that's Gus's skills.
I was gonna say, what's your next section or
What's the-
What do you mean?
Urban is also in a dance troupe. There you go. Achi said, yeah.
Urban's being
Wait,
quiet.
wait,
here.
What's going on? You are in a dance troupe. You're asking this question. You're in a dance troupe. You didn't tell us. So what's the name of your dance troupe?
They might have been rivals in the
Oh,
same
no.
mall.
In the
Their
Philippines,
groups were.
I did jazz dancing in the Philippines, in school.
Ooh,
So we did a lot of
jazz dancing.
stretching. I think that's why I got taller from all the stretching from that.
What's
production.
jazz dancing?
What's jazz dancing? What's
Yes.
jazz dancing?
What do you guys do then?
Like Fame, Fame.
Oh, did they pour water on you also after you're
No,
done?
no. the spandex type of.
Yeah, you do it, and when you're
Oh,
done, okay, pour water on you. So yeah, it's like,
you dance to Kenny G like Songbird like that.
No, that's too slow. It's a pretty fast pace, but
It's like a
so we're
dance.
gonna have a one episode. The dancers next door. It's gonna be just two of you hosting it.
The dancer next door.
The dancers next door.
Yeah, we can do NBHG AGT America Got Talent edition.
Gus is gonna choreograph something. Yes.
All right. So this has been. I really want to talk about also. I know this is a mid-season recap. To you guys who watch or been to all the shows, any favorites so far that you guys have had? They're like we did 11 episodes, different guests. What's your favorite?
Urban will let you if you remember everything.
I'd say I like sound decisions, technical sets. I enjoy that. He has 4 decks. And then
No. What I meant is about episode of The Guys Next Door. Like if you remember,
the
Oh yeah,
episode.
the talk
Yeah.
show, itself.
Yeah.
Uh, Edwin's and Days was very memorable. That's for sure. Edwin laid it out there. It was very emotional and happy at the same time.
Yep.
By finding love in Twitch, so that's great. Mike Freaks was pretty good. A lot of knowledge. He was dropping a lot of knowledge. Very informative. You're able to pick up bits and pieces and use it to your advantage, or at least you have that knowledge in your bag. Um, who else? Mr. Latin House and We Dances one was pretty good. Lot of knowledge with those two guys. They know a lot of people, so they were name dropping. That's pretty good. Knowing that they know a lot of people in the business. How about you guys? What was your favorite?
I it's hard for me to tell, right? Say because I every single one of them has been very unique. Not to toot our own horn, it's just that I think the variety of guests that we had, we uncovered and also explored a lot of different ideas, stories, or whatnot, because they're all coming from a different coming from a different place on Twitch, right? From Mike Freaks last week as being a producer, his angle there, the relationship of families, couples on Twitch, how you can make how you do a raid train, and how the ladies of Twitch, how they are just by having lady streamers. So they're all different, right? We have gone across to a lot of different topics that kind of interesting, right? I wish people will see that. Speaking of that, right? If you type in !YouTube, you will get the link to our YouTube channel. All our episodes are there. You can rewatch a lot of these, and you'll see how very diverse and unique some of these stories are, and I hope you enjoy to watch them. How about you, Gus? What's your favorite?
Each of our episodes are unique, right? As you mentioned, so it's kind of hard to choose. Honestly, like from Mike Freak to Magsino's family. Edwin's story. Even the McDonald's saved my
From
life that
Vernimal?
Edwin mentioned. Yeah, from Vernimal. We have the couple, E Town and what's
Funky
Funky
Mickey?
Nikki. Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, it's
How
hard.
about you, Pat? Yeah.
Yeah. So when we started this, we had no idea what it would turn out to be. We just, we thought we'll just bring in some people, talk about Twitch, talk about life, and all the other stuff. But the main takeaway here is the stories that our guests have told us. We've had 21 guests, and each and every one of them has brought a
It
story
is.
that could
Yep.
inspire. So I encourage everyone to, if you haven't seen some of the old episodes, they're all on the YouTube channel, and then on Spotify we try to upload weekly. Definitely Edwin's story and Twitch, DJ Twitchblade's side stories. They were definitely memorable. In fact, we had an idea already of what Edwin's story is, but for him to tell that to the whole world is very courageous, but it also is very significant, and it can help a lot of people with their struggles.
I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's graced our show. 21 of them. We hope to see more. We're gonna have a surprise guest for you all in what 3 weeks. So we'll announce that, and
Yeah.
it will be massive.
And if you really want to if you really be part of this show, just reach massive. If you reach out to us,
Massive.
reach out to us, and just let us know if you want to share a story. I think that's really the premise of the show. It's not to know what you're doing on Twitch. That's just a small part of it, right? The Twitch part is just to start us, because this is how we met you guys. But we really want you guys to tell a story. And don't worry, we're gonna extract that from you. The wild ones, at some point I'm gonna get Boy G, and I'm gonna extract those wild stories. I don't want to answer for Boy G, but I'm gonna extract that from Boy G. But
Boy G
that's really,
commented about my massive comment. That
I
might
think
be a
Boy G
clue.
no.
That might be
Boy
a
G,
clue
yeah,
on the guest. Boy
and,
G,
and
watch
that's
out.
yeah, and that's probably the key takeaway, right? The key takeaway for the show is like, we're gonna continue doing this. Like we said, this is a mid-season. We're probably gonna do 10 more episodes until we go to the next season. We're gonna try to give you more interesting guests, and yeah, to tell their stories. What they're doing on Twitch, or what they're doing really. Um, Across the board, because I think um, everybody has a story to tell. I don't think everybody anybody's born boring, right? With the right persuasion and the right line of questioning, I think we can. Everybody has a story to tell that people are going to be interested with. I truly believe in that.
Oh yeah,
It,
that is
yeah,
fair.
it's like the premise of the show is really put everybody on. It's like what's a Tagalog word? Tamba. You put everybody in one room, right? Together. I can guarantee you, you're gonna talk about something, and that something will spin to another, and another, and another, and then if you look at, if if you look at if you look at our past episode, that's really how we got to those questions, right? I saw one from Mike Freak. Yes, Mike Freak. We actually did mod one time, but we plan to get just mods, so to get their perspective. That's one thing on my plate, and there's a
Put
lot
it
of spice conversation on the mods too.
put it on the
Okay.
Paul Boy G on NBHD on Twitch. Should Achi Glip One be our next guest?
Yeah. Mm.
And if we get a ton of yeses, then she has to come on the
She
show.
has to take off, right? So no, she works at say Monday, so you have to take off there.
Oh, she has
Call in
to take
sick.
that night
Yeah, yeah,
off.
yeah.
Oh,
Call in sick.
There
Actually,
you
call in
go.
sick.
Yeah, Colin sick. Yeah.
And
Achi,
actually,
you're next.
if you're next, I'm telling you right now, I'm not holding back on my questions. Not to scare you, I'm not holding back. I have a question right now. I'm holding back, but I'm gonna reserve it. Here's the TJ Urban Bandit is smiling right now with that. Anyway, so that's our key takeaway. Sound decision, future plans. Outside of what we said for new guests, what are our future plans?
Yeah, I wrote that down in the show notes about a recap. Future plans. That's a very, very difficult because we haven't spoke. In all honesty, we haven't recapped what we're doing. We do an end of episode debrief with us
Mhm.
five, but then we
Mhm.
don't talk about future plans. I
Mm.
don't know, to be honest. I just want to, I guess, finding more guests, even outside of Twitch guests, like
Yep.
people who don't really stream. We'll invite them here. I have a few people in mind with great stories to tell, but future plans, the extending the hours is not part of the future plans. 2 hours
No,
is
no,
enough.
no. 2 hours is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, more guests, more compelling stories, more participation from Urban, and a few guest co-hosts.
Maybe.
That will be much appreciated. For me, that's
Um,
all I can think of right
yeah,
now.
more dumb questions from the audience too, right? And again, yeah, if you have a topic that you guys want us to discuss or an idea like just what Mike Freakup said, more mods, send it to us because we have the more ideas we have, the more that we can put it on this platform, right? This is more of your Monday, and that's how we really said, why don't we do some Monday? Because it's more of like, let's start on Monday, 69 hours. No, six, more of like Monday,
69.
not a break on Twitch, but go on Twitch, but not to listen to music, but hear, watch these guys talk about topics, and you can participate. And you can do that by on the chat, or if you want to guest in the show, let us know.
Yes, everyone's welcome. We have the
Yep.
platform for you. If you want to promote something or tell your story, please reach out to us.
Right. Long-term goals, right? So there's one thing that we want to talk. Long-term, I don't know how long-term it is, but we want to make sure this is fun for everybody, right? And that's why we're we're keeping it in season number of shows so that we leave on a high note on one season and get better at it every single episode. And we are, right? If you watch our first episode, it looks like a deer in the headlight. Like in my mind, saying I want to smile, but my hand's like, what the fuck? What the fuck am I going to say?
Just mumbling and
And
rambling.
yeah, and I was mumbling and then saying the wrong words, and it's just that I'm reading a script and then it doesn't sound natural. And we got all this feedback from a lot of people, my kids included. Uh, and we learned from that, right? We're gonna get better, right? Topics, the way we present ourselves, more dancing from Gus in the future. So we're gonna do that as long term. So we're gonna make sure that this is entertaining, not just for us talking and guests, but also other stuff. What else do we have in mind right now?
Should we have the same brand of microphones?
I think we do. If somebody could sponsor us, so all of us could get the same brand of microphone, so that we don't have audio issues. You can reach us on the guys next door. We accept sponsorship.
Buy us some
Hopefully,
coffee. We might be
buy
able
us,
to get
buy us some
mics.
coffee. If you want to continue us doing this.
Actually, audio quality has improved a lot. I think if you don't know how StreamYard works, there's no levels, audio levels. So we are guessing on what our levels is. We're going by ear and just telling each other you're hot or you're peaking,
Yeah.
and we try to lower it.
Yep. So, all right. So, I think we've discussed that. This is great. Talking to you guys, no guests. This has been very refreshing. Knowing that Gus is part of a dance troupe. So does TJ, and I have other ideas to do that. So, um, thank you. So now I think we beat that enough. We go to our next episode, and I think this not next episode, next segment of our show called Beyond the Neighborhood. I think this is going to be a great idea. We want everybody's participation, so roll it in. The next segment is Beyond the Neighborhood. I think DJ Pat has prepared it's only one topic, but I think it's very spicy. So go ahead.
So
DJ Pat.
I prepared a ton of topics, including I'm gonna read it. I prepared, but we decided to omit all of them. We have the the Vision Pro from Apple. We got news from Twitch that they're increasing revenue for. Well, it doesn't really involve any of us because it's for partners. There's also banning social media for children and all that. But the most, oh, I also have another one, the LeBron James to the New York Knicks rumors. But the most compelling, most compelling topic I want to talk about today is a mom from Central Florida who was banned from dropping off
Boy
her
G's
kids.
neighbor. Okay.
Boy G, the moms. She was banned from dropping off her kids at a Christian school because she is a content creator for OnlyFans, and her vehicle has the OnlyFans ad on the vehicle itself, which can be seen by everyone. So the story is Michelle Klein says the school is making her park across the street, which forces her kids to cross a busy road, go down a sidewalk, and walk through the parking lot to get to school. That is unless she takes the ad off her vehicle, which bold letter says OnlyFans, and her username, which is Piper Fawn.
All right.
They want her
Let
to
me
take it
follow
off.
that.
Can you follow and subscribe, everyone? To remove the sign from her vehicle, it's a large decal that stretches on the back of her vehicle. All the dads won't miss it. All the moms won't miss it. The principal, the pastors won't miss it. So they want it removed. So I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? I mean, obviously this
Okay.
is a Christian school, but the mom is just making a living. I mean, I think we could agree I can't speak for all of us, but this show we could be sex positive and I mean, this is also a business that she's running. So you guys, what are your takes on this?
Well, sex positive. We have Gus on as a host, so that's for sure already. So
Wait,
that's a
wait,
given.
wait. But what's on that? Sorry, what's on that? .com/pipe. What's that?
Piper Fawn.
Piping. What's that?
Piper
Piper
Fawn.
Piper.
Pipe. Sorry about the P's and the F's from the Filipino Tagalog accent. Piper Fawn is her username on OnlyFans. I
Okay.
don't know how much she charges, but you guys can look it up. I know you have your browsers ready. Just go look her up. I mean, like I said, we're sex positive. She's just a sex worker earning
Yeah.
money, decent. I don't know what her content is, but you know, I guess it's a
Well,
Christian school. That's the big conundrum here.
Yeah. The thing is probably I guess, is it an elementary, a high school? Or I guess it didn't have
It's
anything, right?
young
So
children,
young
so
below
children.
18.
elementary
So,
to
Yeah.
middle. Yeah.
yeah. So I can see why they are banning that, because I mean younger kids might ask what it is, right? And as an adult, we should not tell white lies to our kids. So we say, yep, that's where people would
But you have to
show.
say that though, right?
Huh?
It's only, but just tell them it's a business, right? That's our website. So business, is business, right? For
That's
me, it's like putting. What's the difference on that? You don't really know. Well, first of all, you don't know what the content is. You're assuming it's OnlyFans. It's
yeah.
it's
It says it's
nudity.
erotic content. So if of the erotic type. So I guess
There
it's
you go. Yeah.
full blown.
Oh, on the sign though, on the sign.
Not on
No,
the
no, not on
sign.
the sign, but
It's
inside, right? So, but kids would have. Well, I mean, it's elementary. I don't know if they would have access to that one. They might. Yeah. And I see the point of view of the school
yeah.
that's probably
If you
why.
put yourself into the shoes of the school administrator, it's a very difficult decision on what you should do, especially you are a Christian school and you have the people of your church or whatever. They're
Yep.
probably not be happy about it, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm the principal. So, I don't know. I mean, again, it's this is for me, right? it's no different on already judging people without the full knowledge of everything, right? You assume already that you're OnlyFans, and I'm surprised that they learned that she's an OnlyFan content creator, and they didn't kick her kid out.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't done that.
Because that could happen in a different
That could
state.
happen right now. This is the first step. You let this do, and then what's the next?
Yeah.
Right.
So
So
yeah, I guess Mr. School Administrator, if you're listening to our show, please provide a crossing guard for the children to cross the street, because according to the news report, it's a busy four-way or four-lane road that these kids are supposed to cross. So safety first.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Man,
is
that's hard, right? Because like for me, I have a story again.
good. Yeah.
But then I guess this is more. I'm not sure if it's more of a freedom of speech. But I bought this shirt in the Philippines, back in the Philippines, and it has it's from Guess, so it has a girl that is like what's that is like a worker, but it says cleaning your pipes 24 hours a day. So I keep on wearing that in church, so I didn't know that there's a meaning on it until someone told me like, hey, nice shirt. I said, oh, okay, thank you.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna get into a really spicy and sensitive topic here, and I'm gonna open it up. Sorry, I'm just gonna let it out. Everybody's gonna be hating me, or not a lot of people are gonna be hating me. Is this where it becomes more of a religion, right? Topic, because it's a Christian school, but they won't do that, right? And this is where sometimes I feel like the church, right? Not all of them. I'm just saying there are there is this there's just this organization that sometimes could be um hypocritical, right? The thing about Christian Catholic is they follow everything to the T of what the Bible says, right? But sometimes, the Bible was made few years ago, and there are certain things that I would say not applicable, but you have to have some sort of a leeway. You have to have an open mind, because what's the difference between I would say doing doing something ethical and doing what the Bible is saying, right? So sometimes that cross path, and sometimes that gets misjudged by a lot of this, right? For example, this one, I'm not saying it's not it's in the Bible that you don't have like a decal of OnlyFans. What I'm saying is the person's doing a business to provide for her kids. We don't know what's going on their lives, right? Why they're doing it. First of all, you can't judge the person because OnlyFans, right? Not just similar to how you don't just judge a person or what she's doing or he is doing. You don't know what's happening to them, right? So give them the benefit of the doubt, right? To Pat's point, you can talk about it, right? And then and explain probably, and not I guarantee you that was whoever complained, right? And whoever agreed, they're already misjudging that person. I think that's where we have to set a boundary of what we're doing. I'm always in the proponent, as long as I'm not hurting somebody, I'm not being an asshole, I cannot be judged against a person who actually goes to Sunday mass every week, right? Sorry, right? I think for me that's the basic foundation of faith. You don't hurt people, you do good, and and if you compared me to somebody who goes to Sunday every day, that person, you can say that person not is better than me. If that person asshole, I don't care if he goes to church every single day. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, that's for me. That's why it's a very sensitive topic, religion. A lot of you guys are I know are quiet because this is a very sensitive topic that not a lot that we're gonna dive into, but I'm not afraid to dive into that.
No, this show. We should not hold back on these things.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a simple OnlyFans that grew bigger in religion is being talked about, and I
Yep.
agree with everything you said. Definitely agree, because the basic premise, if you don't have a religion, if you don't believe in anything, the basic premise of living here is to be a good person for others,
Yep.
and that's the only rule that you need to know. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry to all those who are very faithful, but that's the
That-
general
but
rule.
it's not a matter of faith, though, right? I still have my faith. I still have my faith of there is a larger something on all of us, right? I'm not abandoning that. I grew up a Catholic, right? Strict. I've been an altar boy. I've been Legion of Mary. Name it. I've been going to church during my grade school days every single Sunday, and as an altar boy, I even go on weekdays. I did that, but I'm not abandoning that, not my faith. All I'm saying is I still have my faith, but it cannot be measured that I go to church. I believe. I'll give you an example. Like very sensitive topic, abortion. Right? I'm not. I'm Catholic, but I would say I'm pro because I don't know if that person who's doing an abortion is a matter of life and death. It's right. So it's not. It's because I'm not saying because the church doesn't allow it. And I'm saying no, no, no. You have to have the proper context before you even saying yes or no. Like those are the things that actually is very hard right now because religion says something, and it just goes against your philosophy, to your point, not being a good person, right? You can't subscribe to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Put it on the poll, Boy G, on NBHD on Twitch. Would you rather join the Legion of Mary or the AMA dance troupe? Put
Wait,
it on.
I'm a Legion of Mary too.
Oh no! So
There you go.
Gus check both boxes.
But you remember when you're Legion of Mary, you have to have that booklet signed if you go to church, like by
Every
somebody. Hey,
Sunday.
you attended that.
Yeah, after Sunday you go to.
You have to have somebody sign. I'm that kid.
It's like the
The,
urban
the only
bandit.
thing that that's why I was in Legion of Mary is because they didn't accept me as an altar boy. I don't know why.
I did both back then. And
It
so
sounds like the National Park Junior Rangers, where you have to have your book signed by the park rangers to prove that you went to the national parks.
and you have to memorize all the prayers that that time, right, Gus? So all the different prayers you have to memorize.
No,
I'm
but
also a knight. I'm also a knight of Columbus.
I am also Knight Columbus.
that's
See,
also more
I
recent,
did
right?
I did everything. So Knight of Columbus. If you guys don't know what the Knights of Columbus does, after you graduate from altar boy, you're the person who actually when on Sunday church that the one that passes the um or do the what thing the
Offertory?
donations
Yeah,
that goes around. Yeah, I did that too. Again,
So I
I'm
guess
not justifying that I don't go to church, right? I still go to church. I
yeah.
just didn't go every Sunday.
Yeah. I still
yeah, I
go to
guess
church.
you
Yeah.
you know
Just that
you
one thing that is good is try to go to other Christian churches and try to listen to their mass. It's different, right? So like
Yep.
I think um it's a different what they call that the aura is also different because sometimes if I go to church it's kind of like it's like on a schedule. It's like I'm
Yep.
a robot. It's like I'm a
It's
robot
scripted.
already. I mean, the only
Yeah.
thing that changes is the sermon. That's it.
Yeah.
And but of course my mom will get mad at me if I said I don't I'm not a Catholic anymore. But yeah, so
We all
so
get that. I get that
yeah,
with my
so
mom
that's
too.
I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
all of us were like we like owe that to our parents to try to still practice so that they'll be
Mhm.
happy. I think that's part of it. But as you mature, you learn more about life, and like I said, it's more about being the best person you can be for others. And that's my biggest takeaway from a Catholic education, actually.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think if there's this takeaway that you learn through all of this, like why we did all the sacraments, right? All. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still ask my kids to go to all the sacraments, right? But I think it's not about just going through there so that they have an understanding of what it is. So when they grow up, they can decide on their own, right? You go to this, give them that option so that they learn from it, and then they can decide whatever they become, right? Or whatever they want to do. That's the decision that they're gonna take. If my mom is hearing this, I'm gonna get an earful. Like, what the heck are you talking about? Well, sorry, mom. Yeah,
Urban bandits, you've been
you
quiet
you
for.
you you've been quiet, TJ. So
Are
I'm
you
not sure if like,
are you praying
what's your
over
take?
us right now
Yeah,
behind the
these
mic?
guys are
You're
gonna burn
praying.
in hell.
Yeah.
That's what TJ is saying.
No, no, no. I respect your point of view. I'm not judging. You do what
Hmm?
you have to do. So, and the guilt trip is the Catholic way. So
Mhm.
it always has been. So if we're not
What do you
Catholic,
mean? What do you mean the guilt trip?
it's always there. It's always um, Catholics putting the guilt trip on you in terms
Okay,
of
yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's their mo. Yeah,
exactly just like your
for the
parents
guilt trip.
guilt
Yeah.
tripping you in. You're not going to mass or
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Have you guys heard of stories from Mormons who left their church, and the
Oh yeah, yeah.
stories the
Mm.
stories that they tell about how they circumvent having premarital sex? It's amazing. There's so many stories. There's so many podcasts about it. Actually, there's so many former Mormons who have started their own podcasts and tell that story. It's amazing. It's even more what's the word for that than us Catholics. They're even more suppressed,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
I think what really, just as far as I know, right? More what's really interesting with Mormons, again, not judging them, it's just the how their backstory is compared to, when Catholic and Christian had some sort of similarity, right? At some point, right? Bible, and then who are you? Different personas, right? But Mormons, I think it's based on a story of, I forget the name, who found a book, and then it all boils down from there. So it's just really very interesting, how that. But again, every religion is based on faith, right? You believe in something, and that person, did something, right? So I think if you have that, and you have faith on a greater being, should is it enough? I don't know, but it's at least you have that, because that's your guiding light, to my point of being a good person.
Yep. I think we can move on. Uh,
Yeah. So sorry, it became a religious topic.
it's great. It's great to hear thoughts from, because we never talk about these things. So it's
Yeah.
great to understand from each other how we go from day to day and what we do. But thank you to Piper Fawn of the OnlyFans for
So
bringing up
Piper
this
Fong got
story.
more followers right now.
I believe that it's great publicity for her. So
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's
I'm,
smart.
I'm, sh- I'm
Actually,
sure there's a ton of clicks from all the news that's going out.
and I think the school did her a favor now doing that. If I'll be honest.
True. Should we go to the next segment?
Sure.
We got 11 minutes or 10, I think.
11 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So if we have 11 minutes, let's go to our next segment. No dumb question. I think this is Achi's favorite. And she's been meaning to ask this question So let's go to no dumb questions. I'm gonna roll the reel. All right, Gus. What's the next?
Gus,
What's the
you
question?
take care of what questions.
Okay. Let me see.
Achi
So
has
we got.
one.
I like
Oh, Achi.
Boyji's question.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see Achi first. Okay. How do you deal with a streamer on a DJ lineup who comes in unprepared? Tech issues, playlist, etc. Mm.
This is a question for Gus or Achi, actually. So, Achi, if you can type up your answer, please do.
Yeah.
Uh, Mr. Coops and Urban, please give
Yeah.
us your thoughts.
So as a raid train organizer, right? I deal with it by helping, asking what I can do to help out. Because I don't know why he's having tech issues. Maybe because he's unprepared, but at the same time, I don't know why he's unprepared. Because this is the time that we're asking them to do it, although they commit on it, you know, you really can't ask too much, right? At the end of the day, if he comes in there unprepared and it's a bad stream, you know, for me as a streamer, that's understandable because I did bad. Any performance, you did bad because you did this. But for me, on let's say on NBC Raid Train, I'll keep the bite. I'll ask first, can I help you? What do you need? That's how I'm going to deal with it.
Great answer. And I love it. And it's proven that you've done it. So, and it's worked. So, it's effective. Urban,
Yeah,
what are
you
your
can bash
thoughts?
them. Yeah.
Maybe technical stuff you can talk about.
I mean, it's hard enough to be streaming, DJing, and doing your graphics at the same time, and then looking at the chat. So um, it's hard to help out somebody who's having issues just because there's a lot going on already. So give him some words of encouragement, I guess. So they'll be able to uh, uh, check their issues in terms of that. Give them the chance to actually do it and gain confidence. That way, maybe half of their stream would be much better in terms of having issues. So and um, uh, stay there until till the end. Give them that vibe where we are NBHD and we're here for everyone.
Right.
No one has been banned from NBHT for being unprepared, just so you know.
Yeah. I think it's I give the benefit of the doubt that the streamer knows that too, right? The streamer understands, oh, I'm not providing the vibe, so that stress alone, I think it's scary already for you guys to stream. I'm not streaming. I'm stressed sometimes if I know that, I got tech issues, right? Or Grace has tech issue because I'm gonna get the stare like, what the fuck? Right? I'm gonna get that. I'm stressing up, so I'm not. I don't want to put that pressure, right? To the DJ itself.
Next, yeah, the stare. I know
The
that.
stare.
Next question.
Yeah. Next question. From Boy G. Ooh, I like this one. Boxer or brief? Let me take that one. Let me take that
Yes,
one.
that's for you. That's definitely for you.
Yes,
That's
that's for
definitely
me.
Gus's. Yeah.
So Boy G, good thing they have invented boxer briefs, but I tried before boxer and the old one. I kind of didn't like it because there's nothing holding me. There's nothing holding it. It's like
Holding you.
getting out every time. So I don't like that. I like something that holds it. So that's why I go for boxer brief. Yeah. Boxer, not for me, because I feel like it's too loose, you know.
I agree. Uh, I'm what do you call this? Must be TMI. I don't like loose loss. And it's hard, right? Although um, actually will say it's more airy. I don't like it airy. I like it tight, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I'm doing. I might be okay boxers when sleeping, but even with that, uh, that's why boxer brief for me actually is it's a way to go.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite of these two, so that's my answer. That I'll leave it at that. I'm the opposite of these two people who like their nuts being held by a piece of fabric.
Free the bird,
Free the bird.
TJ.
I'm all inclusive. I do briefs, boxers, commando. I don't
Commando. I
discriminate.
thought you were gonna say commando. Yeah.
Commando's the best, especially in the
Oh,
summer.
I can't do commando, guys. I mean, you
No,
guys
me
train
too.
commando like
Yeah.
with jeans?
I think Edwin was the one who said he has an electric fan when he streams in the summer underneath to cool down the jewels, right? Was that you, Edwin? I think you said that at some point.
Yeah, but how do you cool it? So Edwin, you cool it because what are you wearing? You wearing a
He's
skirt?
probably wearing loose shorts with nothing.
Oh,
under,
loose
and then
shorts with no briefs.
The electric fan is blowing on his nut sack there. No balls left behind, my friend.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no.
That
No
is
balls
I
good.
don't
left
know, because
behind.
maybe because I was like raised back in the Philippines, and they always teach us to always put it up, you know. I don't know. And if
Put it
you're
up.
wearing
Put it up. What do you mean? Point up?
it
You
needs
mean?
to
The
point up.
balls? You put up
No,
the balls?
no, not that one. Your pututu, it needs to go up there. It needs to go up. Point up.
Yeah. So that's
And
why Filipinos are great at manual transmission because they always shift the gears up. Shout
I
out
thought
DJ Sonic Boom. This is perfect timing. You're in the chat.
This is like an alert from Boom. Like, oh, they're talking about balls.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
as
go in
if
the chat.
as if
He's
we
actually lurking the whole time. Like,
yeah.
religion, I'm not even gonna get part of that.
Yeah.
Balls, this is my time to do it.
It is right up his alley, so that's why he's active now in the chat.
there you go,
Yeah.
boy G. Yeah, that one, that term, cambio. You have to cambio it up, you
Yeah,
know.
we shift gears all the time.
Yeah, with boxer you cannot do that. It always goes straight like that.
Wait, straight or straight down?
I don't know. Sometimes down, sometimes up.
Dude, your mic, you just hit your
Only on
your
TG&D where you talk about religion and then you shift to
that's why we're
underwear.
going to hell. I'm telling you, I'm going to hell just because of everything I said on this show.
Man.
That's the Catholic in you.
That's
Guilty.
Catholic.
Yeah.
So I
That's
have
it,
I have a related question which is already in our show notes. What is your favorite gear change in a manual transmission car?
Ooh.
Oh,
So when you're driving, you shift to this gear, and this is the gear that makes you happy, or it's the driving experience
First.
just levels up
First?
when first
Yeah.
gear.
It's
for you?
always been first.
Because
For
you
me,
make
it's
the
always, yeah.
you make the tire
Me, it's
squeal. Is that why?
yeah. First one. Yeah.
You too,
First.
Gus. How about you?
No,
Urban?
I'm quinta. I'm always on quinta. Even if there's only fourth gear, I even try to go to fifth gear, but there's nothing.
There's-
I just do that.
Fucking
I-
you have a fifth gear in your car? Nobody has that. You must have
Oh,
a
I
nice car,
drive a
bro.
jeepney.
you have in the Philippines?
I don't.
No, I drive a jeep.
I don't think I've shifted to.
No,
fifth
that's
gear.
not fifth gear, dude. That's just like
No,
another
there-
slot.
Maybe he
No,
has
there's a
a.
fifth gear in.
No, there's a
Maybe
fifth gear
they
here.
they
Yeah.
upgraded the transmission.
Wait.
Yeah.
You talk about Jeep, like owner
Sa-
jeepney or like
Yeah.
passenger Jeep?
Yeah. No. Melford, like
Owner?
the big one, because we have one in the Philippines. And
Oh,
we
you're
have a
rich,
fifth.
dude. You're
Yeah.
That's
rich,
why
dude.
they probably
Yeah.
upgraded it to a
Yeah.
5 speed urban.
Yeah.
Favorite
The
gear.
Jeep that I know, the jeep that I know in the Philippines that I'm driving has a horse at front, and then it says City Hall and Tandang Sora. That's the only jeep that I drive in the Philippines.
Gus, are you an automatic person your whole life? I bet you driven a manual transmission. What's your
Manual.
favorite gear shift?
Yeah.
Urban.
Oh, I like the downshift from fourth and then to fifth again. So
Oh, you like
man.
to drift? You
That
like
means
to
he's
turn?
drift, but
He's
you know,
probably
just
overtaking
to rev up to
Oh, to
fourth,
rev.
fourth, and then go back to
to
fifth.
get his revs up. My favorite is second gear. If you can get a car to 100 kilometers an hour on second gear, that means you pretty much have a good car. Probably a 16 valve Toyota Corolla. That's my
I
favorite
I
second gear.
I have a Lancer, right? You know that, Pat, right?
The
You
box
know
type. Yeah.
the box that you know where the reverse of that Lancer, the reverse
Letter
gear.
H.
Like how do you get to that?
Yeah, I know
That's
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
You have to the reverse on a Mitsubishi Lancer, a box type, is actually
have to put-
you have to like
Push it
put it
back.
on a slot and then put it on like on the corner top. It's not like just easy reverse. So it's so
Instead of
hard
letter
if you
H.
don't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Do it.
actually difficult for some people to get to reverse on the Lancer.
Yeah.
So talking about was that manual gear? Do you always have your hand on the gear shift?
Absolutely. Fucking A. That's
Yeah.
how you ride, dude.
I think I know where you're going here, Gus. If there's a passenger next to you,
Yeah, there you
where is
go.
your hand? On the gear shift?
Oh,
On the
that's
hand?
also the
No,
benefit. Yeah.
Or both of you are
your
holding
hand
the gear?
could also slip to the gear and then hold her hands. You know,
Hold your
Just so,
hands.
just so you know, there's gonna be 2 gear shifters in the car whenever you have a passenger. So pick the shifter that you want.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god. Oh my god. I didn't think about that way. I just looking at it on a visual perspective, riding alone. You're talking about riding with someone. I get it.
Yeah, that's a style. But now here there's nothing because the shift is here in the
Well,
freaking house.
there's no obstruction, dude. You just
The
free
paddle.
flowing. Isn't that better? Yeah.
Yeah, your passenger can still shift your gears.
Yeah. That's not your
Ooh.
paddle shifters, right? You're actually doing a paddle shifting somewhere. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's why I'm going to hell. Oh, sorry.
Religious people.
Religious people. I'm sorry. I've been really.
I think we have time for one more question. We're over time, but I think we should. Oh, the audience. Does the audience have more?
Yeah, audience. Any more no dumb questions here?
Shout out DJ Elms. Welcome in. If
Okay,
you're
can
late,
you-
you
yeah.
can rewatch on YouTube.
So on the no dumb question, please avoid anything religious or anything that goes off. We're being killed. So any other no dumb questions?
Oh man, this is the part of the show that we have to improve. Getting more questions.
Getting questions.
Really.
Yeah. So this is probably a feedback or a review. Can you guys help me? This segment is actually for everybody. To get those questions out, and we're gonna answer them as accurate and as funny as you can. Lights on or off? That's the question. Lights on or off? On what perspective? Sleeping or
I
gear
think you
shifting?
know. I think it's a dumb question. So, man, if the camera is rolling, the lights have to be on.
Yep.
That's what I'm gonna say.
No camera for me, so it's off.
You're going to hell. Why is it every question now goes to somewhere
Because we want our own channel, right?
Yeah.
Imagine I drop off my kid tomorrow in the school with the sign in the car. What will happen?
The guys next door.
Exactly.
Twitch.tv, the guys next door. Dude, you're gonna be walking Alesso from 2 blocks now. You can't park. You don't have
Yeah,
seat,
they don't want the show. They'll
They
ban
don't
that.
want to hear the show now if they do it.
Urban Bandit,
Uh,
one question for you before I forget. How is your new DJ controller?
Oh,
How
it's
do you like
nice.
it?
It's very nice.
You used it in your last gig. How did
I
it go?
did. I did. If you're playing house music, it's great for house music.
Can
It's a
you tell the audience what kind of controller you are rocking nowadays?
Yeah, it's the Rain 4. I don't have it here. It's upstairs. I'm practicing upstairs. I use
is that the
virtual
one
beat.
you brought? Is that the one you brought to the Maxinos that
Yes,
one
yes,
Friday?
yes.
Okay, right.
So I tried
Yeah.
it out.
Based from watching you guys, I'm like, wow.
My
I
Creek,
like
it's Rain 4. Yeah, Rain 4.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And just for context, they were pitting the Rain 4 against the DJJ
Flex
Flex
10.
10. Both are
Flex
great
10.
equipment, but it seems like the Rain 4 is making a run for the money of the Flex 10. That would be an amazing piece of equipment.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's that.
definitely. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have a follow up on you on that question to TJ. So TJ, so we all know you have this weekly gig. How's that going? Um,
It's
right.
been slow. It's been slow for January. But I was able to get a gig this past weekend. So
Okay.
it might pick up in March. It's the way it goes.
Can't wait
Alright.
to visit you over there in the Chicagoland area.
You
Hopefully-
visited us before, but you didn't show because you were sick. You were sick. That's
Yeah, I was sick. I remember. Mackie was there last week. She got stuck due to the fog too. So
oh, that's right.
If
Gus
she
was
got
here too.
if she got stuck for 2 days, she could have made it to your Rain 4 versus Flex 10 stream.
Oh, that would have been nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Let it rain, DD Dynamite said. So we're out of time.
Hey, Didi.
Mr. Coops.
And what? Any more question from the chat? If there's
Anything
no more
to
questions,
promote, by the way, for Urban Bandits?
yeah, promote. Go ahead, DJ.
NBHD.
You'll be at NBC this Sunday. Come on, dude.
90 minutes. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, the 18th. I think I have plans next weekend.
We need to see the Rain 4
the
soon.
18th. No, I might do an old school stream on location, trying to find a place somewhere in Chicago and just stream for an hour.
That's awesome.
So that's good. All right. Well, if there's no more dumb question, again, NBHD's 90 minutes on Sunday. Go and check with Boy G if you can fill in the slots. It's gonna be interesting because it's the Super Bowl. So we'll see who we're gonna get for this Sunday.
The
So
Super Bowl will be done on Monday, so we can talk
it?
about the game.
Yep, exactly.
We can talk about the halftime show as well.
Absolutely. Talk about more Taylor Swift. Sorry, Grace. Well, I'm gonna root for Kansas City because sorry, Niners fan. I can't root for you. I'm sorry. Hate me
So,
again.
Before
I'm sorry.
we end the stream, any predictions? I will go Niners 27,
Ooh.
Chiefs 24.
I will go Chiefs because the way they're playing, they're turning on, and that just shows, there's no way Brock Purdy's gonna score.
That is
on
going to
that,
be a difficult time for him.
yeah.
Yes, I agree.
So I think it's Chiefs. I mean, do we want it? Them again? Nah, but just because of that.
How about the other guys?
Urban.
I'll go. Urban, go first. Yeah.
I'll go. I'll pick Detroit over the Ravens.
There you go.
Where
Yeah.
in somewhere
For third place. For third
there's
place.
For third place, bronze medal.
How about you, Gus?
I think it's gonna be Kansas City. I don't think San Francisco will be able to pull it out. Yep.
Okay,
It's gonna be 21-7 San Francisco.
Wow, what a score line!
Jesus Christ. They're gonna shut them
I'm
down.
gonna bet on that on FanDuel.
Oh,
Yeah, you better.
that'll be interesting. I mean, it's hard, really. I mean, I want it to be high scoring, and close. I don't want it to be a blowout. That's the thing, you know.
Nah.
Did you know, before we go, did you know Shanahan was coaching with the Falcons when the New England Patriots came back from that 3-score lead in
Yeah.
the Super Bowl?
Yep. Mm.
And then he translated that into the Detroit game. He was the one who came back from 3 scores. That's amazing. That's just a fact I learned over the weekend.
Okay. All right. So I think this is it, guys. Thank you so much. We didn't have a guest, but we made it work. And I think I hope the listeners had fun, you know, discussing all of these topics. Please don't judge me again for all the things I said. I hope you know that did not we did not turn you off about religion, but that's how we do it here. We just express our own thoughts of what it is, and if you want to be a guest on this show, jump on, let us know, so we can have fun with you guys. Thank you so much for listening. This is Mr. Coops for the guys next door.
Call your mom, Mr. Coops. Call your mom.
I will
Good
call
night.
my mom. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night. See you next week. Boy G, you can rate wherever you want, or you can just stop the stream. Vernimo, let's go. Let's go to Vern.
Let's go to Vernimo.
Oh, we got credits now. Damn. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Didi, Edwin, and Tachi.
Urban Bandits. Appreciate your time.
Sonic Boom.
DD,
Mike Freak.
played the whole
Thank
show.
you.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks, DT.
See you next week.